SA. And I'm speaking to Jade Zwane. Is that right, Jade?
Yes, that is correct.
About sexual liberation. Ladies, hold on to your chairs. So Jade, please take a minute to introduce yourself and welcome to the She's Connected SA channel.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. As you said, my name is Jade Zwane. I'm a life and sex coach based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I work with women. I teach them how to reach orgasm. Those who struggle, as you know, a lot of women struggle with that. And that is basically, and I give talks on empowered sexual activity for women.
Okay, so that's the introduction. And I believe that you wrote a novel, an erotic novel, the first one for South Africa. Is that correct?
Well, I did write an erotic novel. I don't know if it was the first, but it has been said that it was the first. I think it's the first well-known of. I don't know if there were any others before that. But yes, I did write an erotic novel. But it consists of short stories based on experiences of a woman in her 20s and her encounters with different.
Okay, so we've lost you a little bit. Her encounters with?
Oh, her encounters with various partners.
Okay, fantastic. And what's it called?
It's called Addicted. It's a bit of a play on the word, so it's ADICKTED.
Okay, and I believe this also set you onto your journey of sexual liberation and started your interest in basically bringing orgasms to women, hey? Because that's what we're talking about, hey? Getting women orgasmic, getting them blissful, getting them happy, getting them alive, getting them feel like their yonis are alive or their vaginas are alive. So Jade, you use, sex and life coach. So not a lot of people can say that they do that, right? Not a lot of people have that title. So what has the response been to you? Let's say in a conversation, if you have to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Jade. I'm a so and so and so. What's the reaction?
Well, the initial reaction is of shock that there's a need for what I do.
Yes.
And just generally that somebody would venture into that line of work. But there's a lot of interest, I find, a lot of curiosity that comes along with it as well.
Yeah. And do you find on your journey that there are so many women that struggle with reaching a climax and reaching, or just basically even feeling anything down there? Do you find?
No, of course. I do. I find that a lot of women struggle to communicate what they need because they don't know what they need, because they don't know or understand their own bodies.
Yeah, and that's largely because of the way that I think women were raised, hey, especially in a country that's like South Africa. Let's use South Africa because this is for South African women. I think a lot of, we were very raised like hush, hush. Don't talk about it, don't point towards it, don't, keep it under the covers, keep it under the skirt, and let's not talk about it. Moms, generations didn't talk, and I think that's where there's a lack of awareness and for that, and women feel that, and also looking at what's happening now on the planet with women being awakened in all sorts of ways. I find this so exciting to speak about. So Jade, what are the practices that you use?
Well, I teach orgasmic meditation, and also masturbation for women. Yeah.
So talk to us about, because that's actually how I found you, because I was looking for an orgasmic meditation practitioner in South Africa and we couldn't find anyone, so I'd given up on it. And then I thought, well, hang on, let me try again, because I know by now somebody must have gone overseas to One Taste and get involved with them and must have sat with them and brought the information out here. So can you take 5 minutes out and speak to us about the general experience from start, raw, uncut? Please don't keep anything out, because we want people to know, right? Speak to us about orgasmic meditation, about the process of orgasmic meditation, as much as you can.
Okay, well, it's a 15-minute partnered sexual practice where a man or a woman strokes the clitoris. There are no sexual expectations. It happens in a nest environment, so it's a safety sort of net that it happens in. And it's a goalless practice in that the aim is not climax. And orgasm is not referred to in the traditional sense in that it's a height of some, it encompasses everything, including a rise in temperature or a little more, or that sort of thing that happens when you are, or sweating when you are in a sexual experience. So the stroker prepares the session by massaging the subject, the strokee, right? The subject's thigh, to ground them. So this is called grounding pressure.
Yeah.
And then they take time where they go through a noticing phase. They look at genitalia, and they notice a little bit of pink on your clit or that sort of thing. And they communicate like.
So we seem to, Jade, I'm just going to stop you because we seem to, you seem to be breaking up. So just take a minute, let's see what's happening, and then you can continue talking.
Okay.
Okay, so I think let's take it from the genitalia after the grounding.
Okay, so the stroker describes what they see out loud to the strokee, the person that's lying there that they're going to stroke. And then the stroker inserts their right thumb in the opening of the vagina, and left index finger strokes the clit.
Yeah.
And then while this is happening, the subject, the strokee, can make adjustments either to the speed of the stroking or to the pressure of the stroke. And then afterwards, the couple will share frames. We call it sharing frames, where they describe how they felt during the meditation itself. And the whole purpose of orgasmic meditation is increased intimacy, better communication when you are having sex with your partner, so you know how to ask for what you need, as well as promoting deep connection between couples.
Yeah. Yes, and for anybody that's listening and it sounds very graphic to you, either because you have a judgment or opinion that people shouldn't be speaking about this, or maybe that this is something purely kept for the room, I discovered orgasmic meditation via, which one was this now? Was it now via TED Talk, or was it via the Red Tent Revival with Kristen Sweeting Morelli? And Nicole Daydone is the founder of One Taste. And if you go onto the website One Taste, I'm sure, Jade, you refer people there as well. I'm not sure. They have a beautiful video that explains this as well to you. So if you missed out on what Jade was saying, it's not about climaxing. It really is about connecting and sharing an experience, a beautiful, sacred experience, isn't it?
Yes,
with
it is.
Your partner. Yeah. With well, it's very beneficial for women because we are the ones with the clitorises, but it gives you a different way of connecting with your partner, whether it's a woman or a man. And it gives that man the opportunity to connect with you in a different way and really see you, because that's what we want as women. We want to be seen. We want to know that we're beautiful, but also that you're connecting with us. And I think that's what's lacking in most sex experiences between people, is that connection. That connection is lacking, right?
No, it is. And people are afraid to communicate their needs, especially women.
Yeah. Or they've just given up, They're either afraid or they've just given up.
No, that happens as well. Yeah. No, that's true.
Okay, you can continue talking because I interrupted you. I'm so sorry about that.
No, I was pretty much done. So it's about creating intimacy, promoting connection, and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jade, how do you find that when you work with women, do you find that they change in confidence and they become more sort of radiant, and also their health improves? Have you found that to happen with your practices?
Well, I find that they're more confident in the bedroom and start to enjoy sex, most of them. And some instances, women didn't know that they were supposed to. Well, not that they were supposed to enjoy it, but they didn't necessarily enjoy having sex. It was something they did because it was expected of them. And I find that after a session, most women will say, I'm actually enjoying sex. I can't wait to have sex with my partner, and that sort of thing.
Yes, because I've heard that so many times. I've heard women say like, "Oh, I have to do this again now," and then I find that so mind-boggling. Like, I don't understand why women would say that. And then I'm like, what? Is it like a chore? Is it like you don't like it? Like, what's happening here? So I often find that when I talk about things like this, and I hear women say that, like, I'm completely blown out of the water, and I don't actually know. I just start giggling, because how do you get them to a point where they're like, this is good for you? Because let's talk about the benefits, first of all, of having, intercourse and sex, and a really good a sex with someone, and then also having connected, that connection with someone, bringing that sacredness, that beautiful exchange, into it, like, what are the benefits? There's so many benefits. Do you want to share some?
Well, they're general ones. I can't think of too many off the top of my head, but it reduces your stress levels. That's one. And
Yes.
it's great exercise, especially if you're not getting any other form of exercise. And and it's a great way to connect with your partner. It's a physical expression of your feelings for someone.
Yes, yeah. And then also for those who are a bit more intuitive, and I think a bit more sort of empathic, it goes so much deeper than that. Like, you can actually sort of use that practice as a way of retrieving information, which is very vital.
No, of course, you get to learn your partner.
Yes, yeah. So, Jade, your answers are very strong. You're not really giving me like a lot to work with here. So let's see, what else do you use? What else do you use to, besides orgasmic meditation? Do you have any other practices that you are studying, or that you are looking into to incorporate sexual liberation for women?
Well, like I said, I teach women how to masturbate. I believe that in order to master partner sex, you need to master individual sex first. So you need to understand your own body and be in tune with your desires and needs before you can communicate them to the next person. Yes. And they are ever changing. So masturbating is something that I say that everyone should be doing.
Yeah. Yes. I believe you're very liberal about that. Like, we should give you a campaign to go. We should get you boards up, and I think we should have a big sort of like gathering of women in the streets, and with big boards, and saying, okay, we're going to do this, and we're going to get out there, and we're going to like claim our power. And because, Jade, I feel very strongly about that is the more sort of what's the word that I'm looking for? Can we say orgasmic? Okay, because not orgasmic as in, like I'm releasing now, but in orgasmic as in my body I feel heightened. I feel like a sense of, like a high, right?
Yes.
Because that's what we talk about when we say orgasm. We feel high, and it doesn't have to be like you're ejaculating or some funny stuff is happening.
Or a climax.
It just feels, or you're climaxing. It just feels like your body is very, very sensitive, and just it feels like you're high on life, right? So when we get women to a point where they feel like that, do you think that is the key, or part of a key, that will create a sort of a balance between men and women in this world, where that sexual energy, that need to have it or that need to reject it, which causes men or women to act out in violently against women or men, because it goes both ways, let's be honest. But in South Africa, it's more towards women than it is women towards men, right? Do you feel that when that rises, that we can really bring that to balance and see a significant change in the violence against women in South Africa? Do you want to share your insights on that?
Well, I think the problem is not necessarily women, but the way that men feel about women when they don't respect them. So I think the only thing that getting women to that state of orgasmic feeling, I think that what that achieves is just getting them to a point where they are starting to sex for their pleasure, as opposed to doing it because it's expected of them. But I think in terms of the violence, it's important to educate the men not to commit the crimes, but and not the women not to behave a certain way or to get women to a certain place, because it's not their fault. that this happens.
Yeah, because exactly, and then when that happens, people feel like, and that also shuts down. Have you had women who've had experienced sexual violence and they come to you and they go like, oh, but I don't feel something. Maybe I have such a loving partner now, and I don't feel that safety. Have you had women come to you and you've been able to help them with that?
I've worked with a couple of women, but it wasn't as violent as you would expect. Normally when we imagine rape, we expect it to be like a stranger in the dark shadows or something like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like that. It was women who weren't even sure that it had happened. So we had to talk through it and realize that it had happened, that they had been violated and not necessarily given consent. And we've worked on physical aspects of how to get them back into sex.
Well, thank you for mentioning that, because here's the thing, so many women go through experience like that, and it's often younger girls who go through experiences like that and they don't know. They just don't know what's happened, because they don't know. This is the answer that comes through, and I've been speaking to quite a lot of women, and especially young girls, it's almost like they have to ask someone what just happened, because they don't know. So I don't find that strange at all. And on that topic as well, more often it happens with somebody that you know than you don't know.
No, that is true. Because they have access to you and you trust them and you don't think that anything like that would happen. And they take advantage of the situation.
Yes. So on that topic, Jade, we have a pledge on She's Connected SA. It says, take the pledge, ask the question, start the conversation. And what that is we're asking women to open up and start asking the women in their life, whether it's co-workers, whether it's your sister, whether it's your mother, your grandmother, your daughter, your niece, it doesn't matter. Ask the people in your life what's happened, because once we know what's happened and once we know who has acted out, we can create a solution, right? We can talk to people about it. We can look at the healing process and also the rehabilitation process of things. And I think sexual liberation for women in South Africa is so required. So required. So Jade, talk to us about what you've been very busy. It's been a mission to get you on the She's Connected SA channel. It's taken me some weeks. What are you busy with? What was so busy that I had to wait weeks to be speaking to you?
Well, I give talks, quite a few talks in different venues. I get invited to give talks quite often. And I was supposed to be going to Zimbabwe, but we had a bit of a breakdown in communication to give a talk there. And also I write a column for the City Press.
Okay. And is that also about liberation?
Amazing. It's sex education as well as relationship and relating.
Okay, and that's in the City
Press in the trending section.
Okay, amazing. And is that only available to Johannesburg, or is that available nationwide?
I believe it's nationwide.
As a nationwide. Okay, amazing. And weren't you going to be filming videos or something to do with? Or have I got you mixed up with somebody else? Yes.
No, we have been shooting videos. Just on the different topics that I discuss. They're going on my website soon. Okay. They're just being edited at the moment.
Okay. So Jade, so now that we've talked about your erotic novel and your stories, I would invite people to go and actually find the book and read it. And then, look into Jade's website. Do you want to give your URL quickly?
Sure, it's Jade Zwane, which is JadeZwane.co.za.
Yes, there's lots of information on there, and you can contact her via there. I don't know if you're on Facebook. Like I didn't really actually look into your social media, so I would advise that if you are struggling with your orgasms, or you're just not sure whether you're doing it right or whether you're getting it wrong, or what you should be doing and how you should be doing it and with who you should be doing it, I would definitely speak to Jade about it, and also look into Nicole Daydone, and also look into One Taste. I think it's onetaste.com. Hey, the international website.
.us.
Oh, is it .us? Okay,
Yeah.
look into that, because this is where Jade's gone directly to the source, and you always want to go to the source of the source. So, so in South Africa, I believe that you're the only one, because I haven't found anybody else. So I would very much like to see you coming to Cape Town. Yeah. And speaking to us here and connecting with the group of women here, and to see what we can do for women in South Africa.
That would be awesome.
Yes,
that would be
amazing.
awesome. I'd really like to do that.
Yeah, so Jade, so I always ask people to either give an invitation or to share something that they really feel is very important. So do you have a message for whoever's watching or who will be watching, something from the heart?
I would like to say to all the women that it's important that we set our own standards according to which we explore our sexuality, and not conform to what is expected of us by society or by anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. That it? Something else?
Yes.
Just that.
That's about it.
Okay, I'm going to quote you. And then, Jade, thank you so much for speaking to us. And ladies, go and have a look. I've also listed the website on the YouTube information section. And Jade, I hope to be speaking to you again soon. And if you have anything in the future that you want to share with us, please do. So, ladies, whatever you're looking for, there's a quote by Rumi, whatever you're seeking is seeking you. And if this is what you're seeking, there is someone in Johannesburg that can help you. And there's women all across the world that can help you live your divine life. So go out and live your divine life and connect with us. So Jade, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I look forward to people connecting with you and you connecting with us some more. And I hope to see you on the channel again real soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.